Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. Welcome back to another Huzzy Q&A. We generally do these like once a month, roughly. Sometimes more, sometimes less. And we're going to go through questions of different areas, personal life, League of Legends, streaming, all that stuff, which should be fun. And, firstly, just say is thank you for supporting what I do. I hope that I say it enough because you guys really do mean a lot to me. Whether you are part of the YouTube audience watching this or you're part of the Twitch audience, like, really thank you. It's sometimes the support that I get, it does blow me away. Like, I'm just a normal dude making content and, yeah, it's crazy. But to begin, just as a quickie update about the computer, because we do get questions about that fairly often, is Huz, where's your new computer? It's hopefully coming. I should get an official update within the next couple of weeks, but the basic delay has been the graphics card. I'm getting a 3090, and 3090s are like gold dust right now. So the average lead time, and obviously we're partnered with Apex Gaming PCs, when you order it, its average wait time is 12 weeks. So 3 months after you've ordered it is when you should be like, oh, we've got your graphics card. And then they still have to build the PC and then ship the PC. I believe I officially ordered the PC 10 weeks ago. So within the next couple weeks, hopefully we hear, oh, we've got your graphics card. We have all the parts. We're going to build it now. But that's been the delay. It's nothing to do with Apex. It's just the way of the world. I don't know if COVID has obviously affected manufacturing of components. Most likely it has. But yeah, that's where it is. But I also will just announce very quickly, when the new PC arrives, I've been wanting to do this for a little while. With the extra power that PC will bring, I'm going to be starting to stream and record and upload in 1440p. So obviously we've always done 1080p, so I'm going to be upscaling and going up to 1440p, so a little bit higher quality, because I've always wanted to do it. Computers are getting more powerful, monitors and TVs are getting better, and I do know there's an audience out there that watch on their TV, and obviously, yeah, 1080p wouldn't be bad on a TV, but 1440p would probably be even better. But obviously, don't worry if you don't have great internet, you can always watch it in the lower tiers of quality, like you can do now. It's just 1440p will be the best one available, where right now it's only 1080p. So yeah, just say that will be happening. So first question is actually a fitness one, is what is my specific workout regime and what do I eat during my 1 meal a day diet? So my fitness regime is I generally do 3 workouts a week that I would actually call workouts, but I do accessory work nearly every day. Whether it be doing just some push-ups or crunches, or right next to my desk I've got 2 sets of dumbbells, a 5 kg pair and a 12.5 kg pair. You can do a lot of accessory work with that, working on like the smaller muscle groups in your shoulder that are very small, but they actually do add up if you can actually build strength in them. So I'll generally do like 3 major workouts a week, one with my trainer, that even, with lockdowns here in Britain, we've obviously come out of lockdown kinda. When gyms were closed, you could still work outside with one person, not in your household. So I was actually still working out with my trainer, with socially distanced, in a car park outside in freezing conditions. I literally, and I'll probably remember it for a long time, I was doing deadlifts, working on my deadlift in a car park in -2 lashing down rain. I'll remember that forever. I'm committed to fitness now and strengths and stuff. So I loved it. It was actually really fun. And we're back inside the gym now, which is nice. But it's weird. There's positives and benefits on both. Like the outside bit, yeah, you can get wet. The bar was really cold, and your muscles aren't gonna fire up as much or easy enough because you're cold. But you had so much air. You breathed in and you have all the fresh air. When you're actually inside the gym, yes, you're warmer and stuff, and the bar isn't freezing, but there's less actual air when you take a breath. So there's positives and negatives of both, which is quite fun. But yeah, so 3 major workouts a week, generally 1 big deadlift session, 1 big squat session, and bench is the one that I haven't personally worked on a lot, even though it's the trifecta of powerlifting. Because right now with my trainer, I've been doing deadlift a lot. We're slowly going to introduce bench with my trainer, because I've just not been that comfortable doing bench alone. When you're on the bench and you've got the weight above you and whatever weight you're doing, one wrong move, it's coming down on your neck or your chest and you're alone. I've never been perfectly comfortable with that. So I'd want to work on my bench with my trainer, and we are slowly starting to introduce bench into the sessions now. But yeah, so generally 3 big sessions a week, if I can obviously manage it. Always 1 to 2 big sessions a week. 3 is if I've got enough time. But every day I'll try and do some form of accessory work as well. And then what do I eat? Well, when I lost all the weight, you know, a year and a half ago, whatever. Again, time has flown. I don't even remember when I started losing weight. I think it was like the end of 2019. It rings a bell. October 2019, maybe, or somewhere around that. Obviously, I lost 60 odd pounds. You know, in a 6 to 7 month period, I lost 60 pounds. That was 1 meal a day, no carbs, no sugar for that amount of time. 1 meal a day, less than 1,000 calories a day, and it was literally just protein. It was 3 eggs a day, and I changed how I cooked them. You know, scrambled or fried or poached, whatever. And then a protein that is a meat. So I either had sausage or bacon or steak or fish. That was what I did for 6-7 months, and it was very effective. And it didn't really like hurt me that much. Like, a lot of people are like, how the hell did you function on that little amount every day? I just did. Like, I can't explain it. Some people can do it, some people can't. I got headaches maybe every 2 weeks that I'd maybe have to eat a little bit more that day. But other than that, I was fine. The one thing I'll say, I've never quit, you know, with all the fitness and weight loss, I've never quit drinks. So like, this is a coffee. I've never stopped having, this is probably a sugary coffee, or this is a zero Dr. Pepper. I've never stopped having those, like, ever. So it does show you can still have them with also getting fitter and getting obviously in shape, but they are probably hurting my gains or whatever. But you know, still gonna have some joys in life when it's not food. But I'm actually recently back on a diet, so I'm very happy with how I look and feel, but I do want to shred just a little bit of excess weight. And it's not out of like need. Like I'm happy with how I am, but it's more. I recently went on a trip. I was packing my bag for that trip, and obviously I've got different trousers. When we've been in lockdown, I've been wearing tracksuit bottoms or lounge pants or shorts, you know, with like elasticated shorts. So you don't actually tell if you're gaining any bit of weight if you don't weigh yourself a lot, which I don't anymore. And I was trying to get into a cream pair of size 32 waist trousers. They're really nice, and I could get them on. I just couldn't do up the button. And they used to be comfortable on me a few months ago. And I was like, I've put on a little bit probably. I can't just do up the size 32 waist. So I've obviously been wearing size 34s, which I'm still fine with. But all I'm going to do is I'm now going on a little bit of a cut phase. Probably going to reintroduce a bit of cardio once a week and just cut a little bit to make sure I can comfortably fit in those size 32 waist trousers. And that's it. I don't care about the number anymore. I think I roughly weigh about 180 pounds right now. My lightest was a little bit less than 165. It was like 163. So I've gained muscle. Like I feel actually quite solid in how I am right now. But yeah, just a little bit of a shred and I'll be well happy. But my diet right now, very quickly, because I don't want to talk about this too long, I'm on meal prep, so I actually paid a company to do meal prep for me now. 2 meals a day, they're 500 calories each. I don't eat everything in the meals, so I probably eat per meal about 350 to 400 calories, not 500, because there are some of the ingredients I just don't like. But like today, I had like firecracker chicken thighs with basmati rice, and it came with like a lot of veg. I ate some of the veg, but there's some of it I just don't like. So yeah, I'm just doing that. I'm probably going to do that meal prep for about a month or so. See if that's enough. If it is enough that I don't need to cut anymore, then that'll be it. Like a month solid with this meal prep. If not, then I might go down to my old diet. Just do that for a couple of weeks. Trust me, that diet shreds you weight. But you're also going to be careful of not losing muscle when you do that diet too. And obviously, I feel solid. I don't really want to lose muscle right now. But anyway, that's that. What is the best way to learn how to team fight? Honestly, ARAM. ARAM is a really good way to learn how to team fight, because ARAM, the mode of ARAM, is a constant team fight. So I'd actually say ARAM, as weird as it sounds. Next up, what champ do I recommend when people want to learn assassins? Echo or Fizz, I would say, because they're the most, I weirdly would say the most forgiving, especially Echo. Like, Echo, incredibly forgiving champion. You go in to assassinate somebody, oh god, there's one more enemy here than I thought, press R and you're gone. So Echo probably is the most forgiving assassin that exists. Fizz also is a bit forgiving because of his E, but they're obviously their AP. For AD, again, I'm a sucker for Zed. Zed to me is like my favorite AD assassin. Like, I would much prefer Zed over Talon, but that's just me personally. Talon's probably easier to play than Zed, but Zed is more, I don't know, just Zed is, for me, an assassin. Like, he just is. So probably Echo for the most forgiving one, though. Next up is, why do I think they overbuff Gwen, and do I think she'll be nerfed anytime soon? Yes, I do think she'll be nerfed because they did overbuff her, but why do I think they did it? Because that's what Riot generally does. So I do stand by what I said. Gwen was very, very weak, and it will be in two areas that she was weak. One, she, you know, statistically or numerically was weak. Her abilities did very little damage. So as the actual champion herself, it was a bit too weak. They obviously buffed that. They upped her numbers. And obviously the other side of it will be, you need to get used to the new champion. Definitely. Obviously, when I played her and was like, this champion is, what is the point? I always could get better at Gwen. So that would be part of it. But thirdly, Gwen doesn't fit the meta. You know, the meta is League of Burst. It's League of One-Shot. Gwen doesn't do that. She's a sustained duelist type champion that does scale pretty well into late game, but she never does insane burst. And that's also why I think that she got a big buff, is because how do you compensate a champion that isn't meta? You just buff the hell out of it, and then, hey, it's meta. So yeah, I would say it will probably get nerfed pretty soon, though. Next up is, can I go into depth of how I would fix the mythic items? Yep, delete them. Like, I would be honest, like, I know it might sound pessimistic. I don't think League is going to be in a way that we feel it's truly balanced with mythic items. I just don't. Like, the thing of it is, with mythic items being so core and strong, when an enemy gets a mythic item a little bit before you, it's most likely always going to feel really bad. That's never going to get fixed, because the whole idea of mythic items is they're really powerful. I just don't think it's a great idea. Like, just full stop. I just don't think mythics were a great idea. I don't think they're ever going to be a good idea. And I think it's going to be a constant state of having to balance. So look at all the changes already so far. That all it is that Riot's doing is, this item's being underused, let's buff it. Oh god, we made it overpowered, let's nerf it. Oh, then no one's using it, let's buff it. That's all it's becoming. Because it's all that people care about is, what is the best one? Like, the whole, like, variety with item builds, by idea, it's a good idea. By actual design, it's never going to work. Like, if you actually look into the history of not just League, but video games, World of Warcraft talents, you know, League of Legends runes, most of the time, 95% of the time, there is a best way to do something. Like, just based on numbers. And items fall into that with League of Legends. There is going to be the best item to go. Like, that's just going to be it. It's very, very, very hard not to let that happen. And I don't think it's going to happen with mythic items. So, there you go. How would I transfer any skills learned in League over to other games? I mean, I like to think of myself as a pretty good level of video gamer, if that makes sense. I can jump on most video games and perform quite well. I have had people comment going, how do you do this? Like, I'll jump on Call of Duty on stream and I'll hit some insane shots and I'll get a win on stream, and people are like, but you're a League player. Like, how are you then doing really well in COD? Or I've done racing games on stream and I'll do really well in racing games. I think there is definitely a part of, like, being generally good at video games, because let's be honest, a lot of what video games is two things. Coordination, like actual having hand-eye coordination of pressing things at the right time and having control of your body to do it at the right time. And secondly, understanding. Understanding is something that does translate. Now, you might be like, but League knowledge doesn't translate into Call of Duty. No, but the way that you find out how you get good does. So, like, me understanding how something works in League and working it out or researching it, I can do the same thing in COD. The mindset's the same. And a lot of it is just looking it up. Like, as simple as, like, you have to remember, vast majority of people in League do not look up any guides, anything, nothing in the background. Guides, videos, streams, they do nothing. They just play the game and for some reason expect a miraculous thing that they're going to improve. It's like going to school and not having a teacher teach you anything. Having a teacher actually makes you better. It's the same with video games. So for, like, with COD, I'll watch COD, you know, streamers or YouTubers and just pick up little things here or there and I'll implement it into my own game. Or the same with racing games. I'll implement things that I've learned from there. Or hell, even with real life, I'm a Formula 1 fanatic. I can take things from real life Formula 1 and apply it into a video game. As crazy as that sounds, it's true. It's having that, like, you know, actually using the knowledge you've got in your video game. A lot of people will know stuff, but will still be in bronze in League because they don't apply what they know. They just know it. You have to apply what you know. So I would say that. Next up is, since you mentioned playing since Season 1, could I talk a bit about what the game was like and how it was different to now? it's practically a different game. Graphically, mechanically, smoothness, everything. Like, if you go back and watch old Season 1 videos, it looked terrible. It really did. Gameplay, obviously, it's still there, but the gameplay in Season 1 was a lot slower. It was less fluid. The more that League of Legends has existed, obviously part of it is, you know, the player base has got better. Everything is just more fluid. It's more smooth, you know, and everyone's got better. Like, if you go back... Not many of you probably will do this or have, but if you go back and watch the Season 1 League of Legends World Championship final, you'll see the quality is pretty damn bad. Like, it's not good. And, you know, they can still farm well. They're not missing last hits and stuff, but mechanically, it's just nothing special. Right now, it would be like, I don't know, a mid-tier gold game or something like that. It doesn't look impressive. That's the biggest change, is you go into a gold game now, people are pulling off really good mechanics. And you're like, dude, this is gold? And the understanding has gone up in the game because the game's older. You know, there is more, like, YouTubers and streamers that people watch and learn from and all of that. Like, the game has just got better in that aspect. The player base is better. Obviously... You know, that's a very positive outlook. The game is better mechanically, you know, visually. The player base is better. Does that mean League is a much better game overall? Yes and no. So there are some things that I do miss from Season 1. The purity of not knowing was nice in Season 1. It's the same with any game, and that's not League's fault. When we're all new to World of Warcraft and you're discovering something for the first time, it's a really cool experience. So that experience over time is going to fade no matter what. But also... People didn't expect as much from their teammates. We're in Season 1. It's a brand new video game. Oh, you made a mistake? Ah, he's new. Like, that's also a kind of thing that's been lost in League of Legends, especially in the average ranks, man. You can go down in bronze or silver, and people expect their teammates to be perfect. That wasn't really a thing in Season 1, or it wasn't as much as a thing in Season 1, and I think that would be still good today to have, but there we go. Next up is, when do I think I'll start pro/competitive on lifting? I'm thinking about it. Again, my deadlift is really coming along for my weight category. I'm approaching 200 kilo deadlift, which, you know, I've only been deadlifting seriously in the last, like, 8 months. And I remember last September when I did car vlogs more often. In a car vlog last September 2020, I said, oh, I've just hit triple digits on deadlift, 100 kilo. And I'm nearing doubling that. And it's not like... I'm really working on it. Like, I'm not got a perfect diet. I'm not training deadlift 5 days a week. Like, I'm doing deadlift once a week. And my diet, especially with lockdown, has been far from perfect. So to have that much improvement in the last 8 months or so, I've actually been really happy about it. And I think it'll only improve. I don't know if, like, when or if I'll start competitive lifting. Like, I'm not somebody that will go to a comp when I know that I'll underperform. I'll only go to a comp if I'm like, if I do well, I'll be mid-pack at least. So for that to happen, in my weight category, I'd probably need to get my deadlift up to about 230, 240 kilo. Squat, I don't even know. Like, the only one I know a lot is deadlift. But I got to look into the others, and the others are definitely way behind my deadlift right now. Like, squat, I could probably squat like 140, 150 kilo right now. Bench, I don't even know, maybe triple digits, but I just don't know. I haven't worked on them as much, but we'll see. Who knows? Next up is, what would be your Pokemon type if I was a gym leader? I actually was a gym leader. I think I've told this story before. Maybe a while ago though, but back when I was a early teenager, I was part of a forum that did Pokemon gym battles, and we had a whole league, and you had different gym leaders, and I was a dragon gym leader. I did have a Charizard in my team, and he technically wasn't a dragon, but yeah, so I was the dragon gym leader. Obviously, we didn't go the average types, because obviously normally dragon would be one of the Elite Four. We didn't really care, but yeah, I was a gym leader for the Elite, for the dragon gym, so I would probably still maintain dragon gym leader. All right, next up is a couple more to go, not too many more. What champions do I hope / predict will be featured in the LoL fighting game? So yeah, there has been an update about the LoL fighting game in the last couple days, and that was, there is no big update apart from the end of this year. We'll get an update, but there's no beta, private or open beta. There's no beta for this year, which some people were a bit surprised. They've been working on this game now for a couple of years, but it's just the way of it. Well, we already know Darius and Katarina are in the game because we've seen the footage, but let's be honest, Lee Sin's going to be in it. That's pretty obvious because, you know, martial arts. anything else would. The only thing that, I don't know, like mages, I guess some mages will be in it, but they'll be probably a bit harder to balance or get right. Because, like, obviously it's going to be like a Tekken type game. And yes, there are characters that have, like, ranged attacks, but a lot of it is punching and kicking. So I don't think Cassiopeia will be in this game, for example. I think it would be too difficult to make a snake into a fighting game, but that's just me. But I could see Silas being in this game with his chains, combos and stuff. That would be pretty easy to predict. Mundo, maybe. Set would probably be. Draven, maybe. He's an executioner in an arena. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's going to be quite of the... If I had to guess, and maybe this is wrong, it'd be easier to do the more brutish characters for a fighting game. Like, it would be harder to put in, like, Ezreal or Lux in this type of game. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they will somehow do it. But in just my mind, I just predict, or I just see the more, like, champions, you know? Like, the more aggressive champions for an actual fighting game. But I don't know. If you were to be stuck in a League champion's body for 24 hours, who would I pick and why? What a weird question. Aurelion Sol? Because then I'm literally, like, God or something. Whatever the hell he is. That would be interesting. I don't know. Not really. Will I be watching the series Riot's making? What do I expect? Yes, so Arcane, I think it's called. I've been predicting, it's on Netflix for ages. And yes, it's officially coming on Netflix this fall. I'll be definitely watching it. I actually recently watched the Dota 2 series, and that was actually really good. You know, if you haven't watched it, go ahead. You know, it's honestly, it has nothing to do with Dota. It's just a cool fantasy kind of adult cartoon type thing. And that's what I hope that League of Legends is. Yes, it's got the characters from the game, but someone else could watch it and not think about the game at all. And I hope that's what this is too. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. But the vibe looks kind of cool. It's like Piltover, so like quite futuristic tech, I think. So with Jinx and Vi and stuff. So that would be interesting, definitely. Have I ever played Rainbow Six? Yes, I have played Rainbow Six. Quite a good game, but I have to be in the mood to play that type of game, obviously. And Worth also goes saying, like, people say, why don't I play Valorant? Couple reasons. One, I don't like voice chat, and Valorant seems to be quite tightly embedded with voice chat, so I may as well just not play the game, because you're at a disadvantage if you play the game and don't use voice chat. I just would rather not play the game because I'm not going to use voice chat. And secondly, like, my FPS game at the moment is COD, so it's sometimes a bit tricky to play multiple FPS games because they all have slightly different feels to them. So if I'm playing COD, I don't sometimes want to be playing other FPS games too. Anything else? I think that might be it, potentially, because the plebs are just going off on one about different things. Yeah, that might be it. Just say, is there too many choices in League of Legends as the final one? So I presume that's like champions and all that stuff. Yes. So I've said for a while that there's too many champions, and they just keep adding more and more and more. We're going to get to like 200 champions in the next few years, which is just crazy. I have said literally maybe for like the last 3 years, I'd rather than release no new champions and just do reworks, old champions. There are so many champs in League that I would call kind of unhealthy for the game, or they're just out of date. They would, like, a whole year of reworks, 10 reworks in a year or something. That would be great, but it's just never going to happen because they're probably less profitable, let's be honest. But that's going to be it. If you guys enjoyed this Q&A, throw a like on it, throw a comment. Again, feel free to ask more questions in the comments. I try to do my best to read all the comments. I don't read the comments every day, but I kind of like scan through the comments every few days to catch up on what's been going on. But yeah, throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.